How do we get something that's in the real world into a digital model in Fusion 360? First, we have to get the object and take a look at it and understand its form. One of the ways to understand its form is to draw the object and to take measurements. We can use digital calipers to take measurements of the object very precisely. If you want to know how to use digital calipers, please see the previous video. If you want to know how to do a third angle projection like this drawing, please see the video on third angle projections. This is a freehand third angle projection drawing that shows most of the dimensions I need to make my model of this USB plug. Often when we're making a drawing of a model, we may miss a few dimensions, and such is the case here. That's okay, we can always go back and measure more, but we want to try to get the most complete drawing of our model so we can have a plan when we go into Fusion 360 to start modeling. So with this sketch, I'm going to go ahead and start modeling in Fusion 360. This sketch is linked below. The first thing to do in Fusion 360, of course, is rule number 1. To see more about rule number 1, please see the previous video. But before even rule number 1, we want to do rule number 0, and that is to save our design. So I'm going to save my design and call it USB charger. Now I will do rule number 1. And I have to think about the USB charger, what parts I want to model first. I think I'm going to start with the base. So I'm going to create a component, then I'm going to name the component base. Now this component is activated and I can create a sketch. I'm going to create this sketch on the ground plane. And then I'm going to create a rectangle and I'm going to create a center point rectangle, click on the origin and drag out. Now I'm going to refer to the dimensions on my sketch. I know that it is a square that is 25.7 millimeters. I can type 25.7, press tab, then 25.7, press enter. Now I know that this goes up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this sketch. Then I can click the extrude button and I can type in the dimensions, which is 29.5. And I want to make sure that it's a new body. Now I have the basic form of the base of my USB port, but there's still a few things to do. I need to fillet these exterior edges, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll select the edges, click on the fillet command, and I guessed that these were 3 millimeter fillets. And that looks about right after I've done this model. They could be 4 millimeters. I would have to look at the spec sheet, but this is measuring off of an actual physical object. I'm going to press OK. I can always come back in and change these fillets later. Now I'm going to go ahead and shell this object. I'll click the top face and the bottom face, and I'm going to type 1.5 for the thickness. And now I have this hollow form that is the casing of my USB port, and I'll press OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and click the main top component. And then I'm going to do rule number 1. I'm going to create a new component. And I'm going to call this component inside case and press OK. Now I'm going to create a new sketch and I'm going to select the face of the base. Now I'm looking straight down and I'm going to press P on my keyboard to project some lines. I'm going to project this whole face so I have this for reference in my sketches. And then I'm going to finish my sketch. Now I can click extrude. And I can click on this face, and I want to go in a negative direction. And for the distance, I don't want to actually type in a distance because maybe I want to change my design later. So I'm going to go to object, and then I'll rotate around, and I'll click the bottom of this base. Now it goes all the way through, and I'll press OK. Now in reality, on this USB charger, there's all kinds of electronics inside this, but I'm only interested right now in the exterior shape of this object. Now I'm going to click on the top assembly and activate it. And then I'm going to create a new component. And I'm going to call this plug. Now I can decide which is the top and the bottom. So I'll create a new sketch and I'll select this top face. I'll press P to project and I'll select the interior casing and press OK. I'm going to hide the other two components right now. Now I can go to my sketch and see where these pieces go. So I'm going to draw some lines, and some of them will be construction lines. I'll press L on my keyboard, and I'll start in the midpoint, down to the midpoint. And then I'll draw another line here, across. Now I'll select these two lines, and I'll make them construction lines. You can see that they're construction lines because they're dotted. I'll zoom in a little bit. Now that we have these construction lines, we can use sketching operations such as mirroring and symmetry to be able to draw in our plug prongs precisely in the right location. Let's first draw a rectangle. I'm going to start this rectangle on the construction line and go up. Now I'm going to dimension it. I know that this dimension from my sketch is 1.4. I know that this dimension is 3.1. The whole prong is 6.2, but this is only half of it. So I'm going to put in 3.1. Now I can mirror this object across these construction lines. So I'll create a mirror pattern. I'll select all of these sketch elements. I'll select my mirror line. And now I have it on both sides. I'll press OK. Now I can create another mirror. I'll select the objects. I'll select the mirror line. And now I have them on the other side, and I'll press OK. Now I can dimension the interior space, and I'll call this 11.2. And if we look at our sketch in plug, it is now fully defined because we can see the padlock. Now I'm ready to finish my sketch. I'll rotate and extrude. I'll select both of the plugs. I'll extrude them up 16.5 millimeters. I can re-show the other bodies, and now you can start to see the USB charger is coming together. Now I need to do the profile of these two prongs. So I'm still active on the plug, and I'm going to create a new sketch. This time I'm going to create a sketch on the face of one of the prongs. I'm going to press P to project this body, and then OK. Now I know there's a circle, so I'm just going to draw a circle anywhere. And now I'm going to dimension it. I measured this circle as 3.2. And I'm going to draw a construction line from the midpoint of this prong down. I'll select that line and then select construction. And now I'm going to use a coincident constraint. And now that circle is on that construction line centered on the prong. I still need to put in the height, and I measured that height as approximately 4 millimeters from the top of the prong. So I'll dimension that from here to here. We'll say that's 4 millimeters. So now it's fully constrained, but I don't have the complete profile of the prong. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I need to have the little tapers at the top of the prong. So I'm going to draw another construction line. I'm going to just draw straight across. So I have my perpendicular constraints. I'll select that line. And I'll say construction. And I'm going to dimension the line. And I measured this line as 5 millimeters down. Now I'm going to draw a line for the prongs. And then another line. And I need to dimension this. And this is a good example of many different ways to do something in Fusion. Now that I have the dimension here, I can measure this dimension to here, come up to the top, select this dimension, and then divide by 2. So now it is half of that. That automatically centers those prongs. Now I can finish my sketch. I'm going to rotate so you can see what's happening. And I'm going to select extrude. I'm going to select this geometry, and this geometry. And I'm going to go a certain distance. I could go very far, or I can pick the distance, and I can go to object, rotate, select this face, and then it goes precisely through those two objects. I want to make sure that the operation is cut and press OK. So now I have those prongs. And if I look at them, they could either be rounded off from use, but they look like they have a slight fillet on them to make them just less sharp to the user. And they look two different sizes. These holes look like they have a larger fillet to not be so sharp. So I'll select these holes, click the fillet command. We'll put in 0.5 millimeter fillet for now. That's probably a bit large, So let's put in 0.3 and see what that looks like. That looks a little bit better. So I'll press OK. Now there's also a fillet on these exterior lines. So I'll go ahead and select them. You can select multiple lines by holding the Shift key, then left clicking. We want to get these little edge lines too. If you miss a line, you can always add it to the feature later. There, it looks like I have all the lines. I'm going to select the fillet command, and I'm going to put in 0.1 for now, because it's just a very slight rounding of the edges, and I'll press OK. So now we have the plug. I can go back up to the top USB charger, and you can see here, all of my design history is within this top assembly. But then if I click and activate each individual component, it only has a small design history. This is why rule number 1 is important in Fusion, and you can organize your model. So I'm going to give the base an appearance by pressing A. It's plastic. We'll go ahead and give it ABS white plastic for now. And this is probably also ABS. We can duplicate this one, and then we can edit it. And the color is just a little bit different. It's just a little bit darker. So I'll just make that just a slightly different color. So I'll hide this and make sure that this one is on this material. And I'll hide this one. And I'll put this plastic on this one. And then finally, I'll get some metal. We'll get chrome, and we'll put that on the plug. And I'll close my appearance window. And then if I go to render, gotta show the inside case, we can see the USB plug. Now, of course, I should put in the USB port on the side, but I did not draw that in my drawing, so I'm going to ignore it for now. This is the basic shape and is a good modeling exercise to have a real-world component inside Fusion 360. And now I can go ahead and rotate it to the position I want to render. Actually, I'll just keep it in the home view, and I'll go ahead and do a render. And then once you have your render, you can save that file and you're good to go. I'm going to go back to the design environment. Say I want to add the USB port opening on the back, but I didn't include it on my sketch. Well, I can go ahead and go back and activate the inside case. I can look at the bottom and I can create a sketch. Now I can add a rectangle. I can add a construction line. Select this line, make it construction. Then I can dimension the USB port. It's about 12.5 millimeters wide and about 5 to 5.1 millimeters tall. It's about 7 millimeters from the top on this particular port, and then it's centered. So there's many ways to accomplish a task in Fusion. This particular time, I'll create a point, and I'll put it on the midpoint, and I'll make this point coincident on this line. And now I have a fully defined sketch. I can finish my sketch, and now I can extrude, and I'll select this interior dimension. And with my calipers, I can measure how deep the USB port is. It's about 9.6 millimeters deep. So I'll type negative 9.6. You can see it's a cut operation, and I'll press OK. So now I have a more accurate model of my USB plug. Of course, if I was modeling this for a specific project, I would go get the exact USB plug specifications. Good luck modeling your objects in Fusion 360 from your third angle projections.